So we're trying to create new hobbies, but we're not letting go of our hobbies. We just want to build more hobbies that maybe will make us productive or whatnot, like painting, photography, reading a book, cooking, designing, blah blah blah, and whatever. But that's the problem. How do we make it a hobby? Because the thing about hobbies is that you do them because you enjoy doing it. Now, how do you make something that you do not enjoy your hobby? When you check YouTube, you find out that all the videos about hobbies are telling you hobbies to do if you want to be this, if you want to be that student, if you want to be this productive, these are the hobbies you do. But how do I make them my hobby? What is a hobby? A hobby is something that you enjoy doing, period. Any other definition apart from this is a lie. And this is why many people have a problem making something their hobby because they think it's a lot of work. So, firstly, some people think that hobbies come naturally. Well, this is wrong because not all hobbies come naturally. Most of the hobbies are developed because if you say dancing came to me naturally, like growing up, I used to love dancing. I was always in cultural group, I was always in choreography. I used to dance at home, dance in church, dance anywhere I hear music. But now I don't even move my body or my joints except on Sundays when I'm in church. Like I don't even know how to dance no more. If I really want to dance, I have to now learn how to dance, right? So if it comes naturally, why did I forget? And then I didn't used to read books, right? I didn't like reading novels so much for an art student who had so many literature texts to read, which I never read, right? But like 2 years ago, I started reading books. So if it came naturally, how did I form or develop the hobby of reading books artificially, right? Another thing people say about hobby that is so wrong is that hobbies cannot be intentionally formed. So it's just either you naturally enjoy it or you don't. No, you can intentionally decide that I want to start watching movies every weekend and make it my hobby. You can intentionally decide that I want to make singing my hobby. You can intentionally decide I want to make photography, painting, going to the gym my hobby. But now that brings me to the third myth that people have about hobby, which is that you have to be good at it. Now, this is wrong because like I said, hobby simply means something you enjoy. It don't matter if you're good or not. One of my hobbies is singing. I love singing, singing in the shower, singing anywhere when I'm doing work. But my voice cannot save a drowning fish. You don't get. So the fact that I find it a hobby doesn't mean that I'm good at it, right? But the problem is that social media has taught us to that the only way you can make money and be happy is if you monetize your hobby. So you now feel like if you're not good at something, then it's not your hobby because you cannot monetize it. I'm going to be telling you quickly 5 things you need to do to form a hobby in doing something. The first thing is for you to start claiming it as your hobby. Yes, I know you have not gotten to that point where you enjoy it so much, but how about telling people when they're like, oh, what's your hobby? Mention it as one of your hobbies because there's something psychological about always claiming something. So when I was in secondary school, I didn't like maths. I didn't know maths. I failed maths and I had F in my 3 terms in SS1. It was when I got to SS2 that I said that I was going to know math and actually start passing mathematics, right? So what did I start doing? I started telling people that mathematics is my best subject. I started telling myself that mathematics is my best subject. If you ask me what's my best subject, I'll tell you it's math. Why? Because nobody fails their favorite subject. So if I say this subject is my best subject, my score, my grades, and how I act towards it must be able to prove that truly I enjoy this. So I will listen in class, blah, 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 and all of those stuff. So first, start claiming it as your hobby. One thing I started doing when I wanted to start loving reading books and not see it as an obligation was that I started including reading books as my hobbies. So let's say, for instance, I want to make cooking my hobby. What do I start doing? Start telling people that, oh, one of my hobbies is cooking. One of my hobbies is watching cooking videos online and trying them, trying out the steps. Now, this does not mean that I have to be a chef. The fact that I enjoy reading books does not mean that I have to read one book in one day. The fact that you enjoy painting does not mean that it must be worth the one that you can put in a museum. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah, you do. Imagine you tell somebody, oh, my hobby is cooking, and they tell you, oh, have you made this? Have you tried this? You want to try it, right? You try it, you're good at that. When you start telling people that reading books is your hobby, they tell you, oh, have you read this book? Okay, so you're like, oh, I'm going to read it. Or maybe you want to read a book so that you can say yes when someone asks you if you've read a book before. You know what I'm trying to say? Or maybe you're claiming going to the gym as your hobby so that you can be accountable. It can even be a form of accountability. So if you're going to, someone is like, oh, please, when you're going tomorrow, I want to go with you because they say they want to go to the gym, right? That way you get to go to the gym because you have to go with the person. The tip number 2 is for you to ease into it. Like I said earlier, you don't always find a hobby. Suddenly, sometimes you have to build it. So if, for instance, you want to develop photography as a hobby, instead of you saying that, oh, I need to learn how to take picture, I need to do this, I need to learn angles, just tell yourself every day, I'm just going to take one picture of something, whether a person, whether the nature or something. No pressure because in reality, hobbies are developed over time and not just suddenly, right? So you need to give yourself that calmness of the fact it's just a hobby. It's not something that you're trying to be disciplined to be good in. Tip number 3 is that you don't need to create a separate time for it. Like you don't need to carve out 1 or 2 hours every day out of your 24 hours for you to dedicate it to doing this thing so that you can learn how to do it. But It is a hobby. Learn how to blend it with the things that you do. So, for instance, if you are eating, you can read a book while you're eating. If you are in the shower, you can be singing or dancing while you're there. If you are on the road walking or in the vehicle, you can take a picture. If you are listening to a video, if you're watching a video or listening to an audio, you can be cooking. If you are, like, just put it with things that you do normally, right? So don't see it as a task. Don't see it as something that you need to take serious. Just see it as something that you want to freestyle, because at the end of the day, we're not trying to be perfect in it. If we were trying to be perfect, that's when I can say, oh, dedicate 1 hour or 2 hours to it every day, take a course, do all of that. But I mean, it's just a hobby. Nobody really took serious how to watch a movie, for instance. So don't see it as something serious that you need discipline for. Just see it as something that, just go with the flow. Hobbies are things you do for comfort. So don't stress it. Tip number 4, which is my final tip, is that you need to detach it from perfection and monetization. People quit hobbies because they think they have to be good at it enough for them to make money from it, or for them to be able to present it to people. And if that is not the case, they just quit it like, oh, I'll probably never be good at this, or this is not my calling, blah blah. It is just a hobby. Don't mix it together, right? So don't see it as something that you have to be very good at, something that you have to put effort in. See it as something that you do doing comfort, right? So if it takes you so many days to finish a book that it will take another person in 2 days, it don't matter. You are doing your hobby. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because over time, effortlessly, you just say that you start to adjust. So for instance, now if you want to develop a hobby in photography, you don't need to now go and start buying one mad camera or something. Like, use your phone, it's just a hobby. If you want to develop a hobby in painting, you don't need to go and buy Leonardo da Vinci sets or Van Gogh painting kits. Like, just use the things that you have, because we need to learn how to preserve the fun of hobby. It is the fact that you do it out of comfort. Social media will tell you, oh, make money from things you enjoy. Yes, I agree, make money from the things you enjoy, but you can't always make money from all the things that you enjoy. It doesn't have to be every day. It could be every 2 days or every once a week, right? Except if it's something that it does not matter. Like, now you're just walking on the road and you decide to take a picture. Like, that one is nothing serious compared to if it was like painting or going to the gym. Don't see it as a task. See it as a hobby. If you have any hobby that you're trying to make it your new hobby now, put it in the comment section and let me see. And if it's something that used to be your hobby but you're considering going back to it, put it in the comment section, let me see. And make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel, because you will find this channel very useful. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.